Hey kids, it's your old pal Mr. Sketchy. Today we're gonna do some 1 point perspective buildings, alright? This is gonna be like the boxes basically, but we're gonna add some stuff to them. I'm gonna show you how to add some building touches. Alright, so first we're gonna start with colored pencil. We're gonna need a colored pencil, need a paper, a ruler, and some regular pencils, alright? So same as last time, we're gonna start with our horizontal horizon line. So I'm going to mark this at the halfway point. So I'm measuring halfway down my paper on each side. I'm going to mark it. I'm going to do one more measurement in the middle because I have a wide paper here. Alright? Alright, now I'm going to make the horizon line going across. There we go. And over here. Alright, there's our horizon. Boom! Alright, about halfway across my horizon, I'm going to make the vanishing point. So it's going to be right here. Okay, there's our vanishing point. Alright, so we've got our horizon and our vanishing point is this intersection right here. Make it nice and dot-like. Alright, so we're going to set up and draw a couple streets here. So we're going to make a cross street going from left to right. About this level. So I'm going to draw that in right about here. So just going a couple inches down. I want this to be nice and horizontal, so I want to keep it parallel to the horizon line or the edge of the paper. It's just going to kind of go like this all the way across. Just going to draw this in lightly for now. We'll be adding more to it. Now we're going to make a street coming down from the vanishing point towards us. It's going to go kind of at, let's make it nice and wide. We'll have it go at this angle here. And we'll try to match that angle more or less on the other side. Something like that. That looks pretty good. All right, I'll take it. All right, so now we've got a street coming towards us and a street going this way. All right, now we're going to add some buildings. So we'll start over on this side and we'll do some simple buildings. We're going to make them a little taller. So the base of the buildings will be about here. So let's go about this far down. I'm just going to do it on the other side of my ruler. And that way I can make sure that this line and the horizon are parallel. I'm going to go to about here. Okay? So that's going to be the front of one set of buildings. So let's finish up the front. So we got our horizontal line at the base. Now we'll add a vertical line. Going to go to about here. Kind of halfway up from the horizon. And then we'll have a horizontal line going this way. Again, I want to check and make sure that this is parallel here and here. So we've got a nice horizontal line. All right, that's the front of our first building. Now it's going to go back towards the vanishing point. Just make it go back a little bit. And then we'll make a vertical edge here. And then this one is going to be going down towards the vanishing point. Now this gets confusing here for a lot of students. A lot of students want this one to go at kind of an upward angle like this, and this one to match the angle. Now it doesn't work like that when you're looking at it. Everything's going to go towards the vanishing point. So if you've got an edge that's a roof, it's above your eye level, it's above the horizon here, that's going to go down towards the vanishing point, okay? So the reason that it looks this way is because this edge is the same height as this edge here, but this edge is further away. So it's going to get smaller as it moves away from us, all the way towards the vanishing point eventually. But that's the idea. It gets smaller. So you don't want these edges to be parallel because you want this side to look like it's getting smaller as it moves away. All right, let's fill in the box now, because I feel like we've got a lot of kind of planning lines on here. It might be a little confusing at this point. So to fill in the box, we go straight across, just kind of tracing in the edges. All right, now normally if we were just drawing with a pencil, at this point we would erase this horizon line that's behind the building. Now starting out, we're just leaving our horizon lines, and we're using the colored pencil for them. So starting out, we're just going to leave it there. but normally we would erase this part of the line. We can also draw in a kind of curb here, kind of show how that's going to work. Okay, so we're going to have one building right there, and then a sidewalk going from the vanishing point down to here, and then going down this street that's going sideways. Okay, so this is our first building. And as you can see, we've basically just drawn a box. All right, so that's the idea. That's why we started with boxes, because buildings are really kind of like complex boxes, if you think about it. Now, we want to add some features to this building, okay? We want to add some doors and windows. So let's do that, and we'll show how to add doors and windows to the two different sides. All right, so the first side here, we want to add some doors to it. Now, if we remember, the horizon line here is eye level, okay? So a door is generally going to be a little bit taller than that eye level. So we're going to go up to a little higher than the horizon line here. And we're going to have a orthogonal line going towards the vanishing point. You can draw it going all the way, or you can just draw a little piece of it. You just need to draw as much as you need to finish the door. And we'll go down from here. Okay, so that's what our door is going to look like when it's facing that direction. All right, so whenever a surface is not facing directly towards us, it's going to have orthogonal lines for the horizontal lines. Okay. So the horizontal lines are going to be replaced by orthogonal lines in this situation. All right. So here, all the walls that are facing this street that's coming towards us are going to have orthogonal lines instead of horizontals. The ones that are facing this street that's going sideways are just going to have regular horizontals. Let's show you how that looks. We'll do a door over here. All right. So if I want the door to be the same height, I can actually kind of follow that orthogonal line, and we'll see that it goes up like this, and it intersects with the corner right here. So if I just make the door at that level, where the orthogonal intersects with that corner, I'll have a door over here that's at the same level as the door over here. And then for this one, since it's facing this cross street, it's just going to be horizontals and verticals. Like this. All right, that's all we got to do. All right, so let's draw that in. There's our second door. This one looks a little bit wider, but that's okay. This is like the front door for this business, we'll say. This is like a side door, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, let's add some windows. So windows work the same way. So if we want to put some windows up here, let's say, we'll do vertical lines for the vertical edges. We're going to make a kind of a big bank of windows that goes all the way across the building. Do another vertical line over here for the other edge of the windows. And then for the horizontals, instead of doing horizontal lines, we'll do orthogonals going towards that vanishing point. One right there and one right there. All right, and now we've got some windows up there. We can add those windows in. Beautiful. All right, and if we want to, let's say we want to separate these windows. So instead of one big window, it's two small windows. Let's say we want to find the middle. If we want to find the middle of a box that's in perspective like this, we can make an X going from corner to corner. And then we just draw a vertical line going through the center of that X. And that separates it into two windows. We could also break it into four windows the same way. We can use that same X to figure out where our horizontal line will be going across. All right, so now we've got maybe a bank of four windows all together. All right, so if we want to make a window on this side, that's really easy. All we do is horizontal and vertical lines. So let's start with some verticals. 1, 2, and then horizontal lines going across. So we'll try to make this edge parallel to the horizon, this edge parallel to the top of the building. We don't want to get confused about what the levels are when we're making all these. Okay, so that looks pretty good. All right, so our lines don't even end up touching, but that's okay. We can see where the window needs to go, basically. So now we kind of add this, move across to here, and down to here. All right, so now we got a big window in the front too. Let's see. We could also add like a, well, let's not worry about anything else on this building. Let's do a second building next to it. So we're gonna continue the base of this. So we'll draw in our orthogonal. This is where all the buildings will kind of come up to the sidewalk. And then we'll move back a little bit to do a vertical line. Go up to here, towards here. I'm not going to make it that tall, but I'm going to make it taller than the first one. So this will go up. All right. So this side here is facing this street that's coming towards us. So that means it will have orthogonals for the horizontal lines. So this is an orthogonal. This has got to be an orthogonal too. Again, don't make it going up like this. Don't make it match this one. You don't want that. You want it coming down towards the horizon line like this. All right, so there's our second building. To make this side that's facing us, we're just going to do a horizontal line. So I'll line up my ruler edge with this line under here. I can see through because there's a clear ruler. I don't know if you can see through that well, but I can see through. This one's going to come back behind that first building. And then we'll drop it down about here. It doesn't go as far back. All right, so there's our second building. All right, there we go. We have a second building here. Now we can add doors. We want to make the doors maybe the same level, right? So we'll use that same orthogonal line we had earlier. So I'm lining it up with the top of this door. I'll make all the tops of the doors level. So I'm going to put some doors right here. I'm going to make kind of a wide bay of doors right here. And I'm going to put a little awning out in front up on top. So our awning is going to stick out from the building. So the side of the awning will be facing towards us. So that means it's going to have kind of horizontal and vertical lines. So I'm going to make the awning extend a little past the doors. I'm going to draw a vertical line. We'll make it stick out like this. So this is going to be a horizontal. I want to get this horizontal line parallel to the horizon here. I'll make it stick out about that far. I'm going to make the top slant down just a little bit. So this will be out of perspective, but it's just going to slant down a little. Okay, so this side's going to be a little taller. This one's going to be a little shorter. That's it, shorter. And then they're going to slant down like this. Okay, for our awning. All right, so this is the front of our awning here. So the bottom, since it's above our eye level, we'll be able to see the bottom. So the bottom's going to go like this. It's going to be an orthogonal. The front edge of the bottom is going to go like this. It's going to be another orthogonal. Okay. And then this edge is going to be like this. Okay, so we'll decide how far out we want the awning to go. We want it to go to about here. So at this point, we will set out another horizontal line. This is on the far edge of the awning back there in the back. I want to get it horizontal. Lined up with the horizon, coming out this way. I'm going to extend the orthogonal a little bit, and then make it go up a little bit. All right, now we've got a nice awning hanging over that set of doors. All right, so let's draw that in. Doors are going to look like this. This time I'm going to make kind of a border around the doors. So I'll trace that line there, and the border is just going to kind of come around like this. This line here looks pretty close to horizontal, and that's because it's near the horizon. The closer to the horizon the orthogonal lines are, the closer they'll be to horizontal, and the further away they get, you can see they steeply curve. They curve more steeply. So here's the border of those doors, and here's our awning. That awning is a little bit more complex than some of the other stuff, so if you had a hard time with it, that's okay. It's a little trickier. Don't feel too bad. One of the tricky parts. And then I would erase this line that's being covered up by the awning now. Okay, so we got a little set of doors with an awning up above. Very nice. And if we want to add windows up on the top floor here, we can add those. Do some orthogonal lines on the top and the bottom, and then some verticals going up and down. All right, so there's some windows there. All right, so we've got some nice buildings over here. Over on this side, we're going to do a house to kind of show how to do a pitched roof, things of that nature. So let's get on that. Let's do a little house over there. So we got the sidewalk coming down this way. So we'll put the base of the house. We'll put the house a little bit further back. Let's try to give it some sidewalk though. So I'm going to try to match this angle over here on this side as well to make a sidewalk. So these are hopefully close to matching, and then I'll go straight over from this one. I can match that fairly exactly. All right, so this is going to be a lawn. We'll have a house in the lawn here. All right, so I think I'll go ahead and draw in the sidewalk borders now. So those are going to go kind of like this. I feel like my line got a little bit off there. I'm trying to correct it. That'll work. You can also just use your ruler when you're doing the pencil as well. No reason you can't. Probably be smart for me to be doing. Make it easier to get a straight line. All right. And depending on how, you might want to use a ruler if you're trying to do a really technically pristine building, if you're drawing some architectural designs or something. But if you're just kind of trying to make it look like it has a little more of a hand-drawn character, you can lay out your sketch lines with a ruler and then draw in by hand, and it'll give it a little more of a less mechanical kind of feel to it. All right, so we'll do the base of the house. That's going to be, I'm going to put it right about here. So it's going to come like this. Actually, let's draw the front of the house first, or the side that's facing us. I don't know if it's going to be the front per se. All right, so let's drop this down a little bit. I'm trying to line my ruler up with the edge of the sidewalk here. Make that come in this way. And then make it go up like this. The house is going to be a little shorter than the buildings across the street. So if this is eye level, we probably want to make it about twice that tall. That seems reasonable. We want to make sure this line is parallel to the horizon. There we go. All right, so for the side that's facing this street coming towards us, we got that orthogonal at the bottom. We're going to have another orthogonal coming down this way. Again, this one's going to be coming down. These converge, right? These converge, all right? So you don't match this line up here like we do with isometric perspective. This line comes down towards the vanishing point so they can converge. All right, we can put the back edge of the house wherever we want. Just depends how big a house we're looking to build here. And let's add a roof. I'm going to add a pitched roof, so I'll show you how to do that again. So to add a pitched roof, we're going to use that window trick. So we're going to connect the corners of the front here. Let's draw in that section. Here. 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 And here. All right, perfect. Now we make an X going from corner to corner. And if we go straight vertically from that X, that's going to be the middle of this wall. And then we can make our pitched roof. So we just want to make it however pitched we want it to be. I don't want it to be super steep, so I'm going to do it like that. You can make a super steep roof if you'd prefer. Doesn't matter much. Not to me anyway. Then we're going to go back. All right, we have a large but fairly boring house now. Perfect. The American dream. Large but fairly boring house. All right, so this one here is going to be parallel to the front one. So this one here is parallel to this one here. That can be a little bit tricky. That looks about right to me. I'm going to go with that. All right, so now we got our house here. I'm going to make the roof stick down a little bit. I want a little bit of overhang in that roof. A little bit of overhang on this side as well. So I'm going to go kind of past that blue line just a little bit, just to overhang it some. Let's use that ruler. Old Mr. Sketchy can't draw a straight line. Oh my goodness. There we go. A lot of people, when they're talking about how they can't do art, they say, I can't even draw a straight line. But there's tools for that. It's a ruler. Any sort of straight edge. It doesn't even need to measure. Just saying. Alright, so there's our roof. Let me erase out some of that extra over there. It's bugging old Mr. Sketchy. There we go. Alright, here's the back edge. And here's the side. I've got a pretty small amount of curve there, but that's okay. Alright, so let's add a door again on the front. Put the door over here. The door again is going to go a little over eye level, so a little higher than the horizon. Probably about there. That looks pretty good. And then we'll draw an orthogonal. Again, this seems like it's almost a horizontal line because it's so close to the horizon, but it's actually an orthogonal. If you ever have orthogonals that are actually right on the horizon, they'll just be horizontal lines. But they're still going to the vanishing point at that point, you see. Like the horizon itself, it's just a horizontal line. But it's also an orthogonal line. Alright, so there's our door. If we wanted to add some windows, same idea. The ones facing the street coming towards us are going to be on orthogonals for the horizontals. And the ones facing towards us are going to be just straight horizontals and verticals. There's some windows. There's the top and the bottom. All right. So there we go. And if I want to add a door back here, it's just kind of verticals, horizontal on top. Window would be verticals and horizontal on top and bottom. You can add all kinds of windows, doors, terraces. All right, so there's kind of a basic house-like structure. If you want to do the sidewalk kind of grooves, you can do those. For the street where they're coming this way, the grooves are going across. They're going horizontally. So you can just kind of draw them like this. You're going to widen the spacing as they get closer. And if you want to draw them on this sidewalk going this direction, you're going to use orthogonals like this. So here. And those little touches really kind of make everything pop and put things in perspective. They're kind of cool to add. All right, so I think that's like a good amount of time to spend kind of showing you how to do this. Feel free to add more to this. You know, you should know the basics now. You can add some more buildings. You can put some more buildings on this side. You could squeeze one more in. You do another house over here. You can add more doors and windows. Play around and see what you're able to do using this 1-point perspective for these buildings. All right, so those are the 1-point perspective building fundamentals. From there, you can design a whole entire city. And if you kind of improvise with the techniques you've seen, I bet you can figure out how to do all kinds of things. So that's going to be it for the week, kids. Have a great week. Don't forget to put your $5 in the coffee can outside of the Applebee's. It's hidden under a bush out by the dumpster. It's like there's like a dumpster enclosure, and then there's a bush next to it, and the can is just crammed under that bush. And it says on it, Mr. Sketchy's video money. Do not touch except to put money in. If you watched Mr. Sketchy's videos, and if you have not, catch them on YouTube on Mr. Sketchy Show channel. I don't remember the name of my channel, but you can find it. Just search up Mr. Sketchy. All right, we'll see you next week, kids. Bye bye.